And we're back with some more oxygen not included on Rime. And today, before we get finishing up on putting together this base, I know it's not the shiniest of looking at bases. I prefer my bases to be more functional. I want to go back to performance. I was doing some testing in the last episode on trying to improve performance in the game, and both of my results resulted in every cycle taking 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Now, Andreas Salinas in the comments pointed out that's 200 seconds. If you're running the game at triple speed, and a cycle normally takes 600 seconds, at triple speed, that means it would take 200 seconds. So the reason I wasn't seeing any performance improvement was my game was already running flat out. It wasn't that the game didn't improve in performance, it was just that I wasn't measuring it because the game was already running at max speed, even with all that debris lying about the place. So I went back and redid the testing, but this time I installed a mod. One that gives me the ludicrous speed. It's just a speed mod that removes the limiter so the game will run as fast as it possibly can. After that testing, it took 2 minutes and 9 seconds when I had all the debris scattered around the map to run one full cycle. After I did all the sweeping, it took me 1 minute 36 seconds to go through one full cycle. That means I'm able to get more done in a shorter space of playtime. All you really care about is how much oxygen not included you can cram into the shortest amount of time. Well, you know, if you've got time constraints in your life, which I think most of us do. So thinking of it that way, if you have swept up the map, or if you haven't swept up the map, it'll take you 1 hour and 20 minutes, and you spend 1 hour and 20 minutes of playtime doing stuff. You could have saved yourself 20 minutes if you had swept up the map first. If you had swept the whole map, just, of course, do it in your downtime when you're not there, otherwise you're wasting time. You can play for 1 hour with a swept map, and you're getting in 1 hour and 20 minutes of playtime. A few caveats, of course. That's assuming you're running flat out. That's assuming you've hit your CPU limit and you're starting to see a slowdown in your game. But if you do start to see a slowdown in your game, definitely sweep. A 25% performance increase just for sweeping the map is a huge bonus. Now, you might not see it reflected in FPS, but FPS, yeah, who cares about FPS? All I care about is how much oxygen not included I can cram into the limited time I have in my life. And if sweeping it up gives me 20% more or 25% more oxygen not included in the same amount of time, or potentially that, assuming I don't constantly pause all the time to build stuff. Yeah, I'm going to go that route. Anyway, over here, I'm just doing a few modifications to our last build. I'm putting in insulated pipes in here. Well, I'm replacing everything here with insulated pipes because I realized it's still too chilly over here just yet. I'll warm up the place later, but for now, we'll just make sure that any water that does go in here ends up nice and, well, warm enough that it doesn't burst the pipes. Down here, I'm putting in some power. Now, this is just going to be to power the base. It's pretty ghetto. I just put it in here because I wanted some sort of power source local to the base so that I can seal this in. I can do major modifications to this later, but first I want to migrate everyone over here. This is just plugged directly into the power spine coming out of the base here. So it's plugged directly into the 5 petroleum generators, the natural gas, the coal, all the batteries, everything. So this is coming directly off the power spine. And this was not an afterthought. Putting this in here, this was sort of the plan all along. This is going to be just outside my base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be running a power spine right up the middle of the map, dodging the printing pod, of course, because that would be a good idea. Thank you for the steel. Then, if we keep going up and up and up, you'll see I've got this little transit tube access here. This is where I'm going to be putting transit access tube points all the way up along the way. Also, I'll be running a power spine sort of directly through here. Maybe dodging a little bit around my my storage area. But boom, that'll be where the power spine will be running. All made out of gold. We'll throw in some statues. But that runs in here so that we can now start powering this whole area. First thing we probably do want to power up is going to be the cooking area. I even stuck in some lights because, well, why not? Lights help with the cook speed. Power installed. That's going to get our cooking facilities up and running. And down here I've just done a little trick. At any time, if I want to hook up this power supply, I can just copy the wire over. Since the 2 wires are right beside each other, I can connect those with no issue. And then I've got more and more power I can draw on. But for the time being, they're not plugged in and they're not generating any heat. Just a nice little trick. The rest of the place, though, is getting swamped in statues, decor, the usual... Oh, I forgot to put in the diamond floor on the bottom layer there. I can go in like that. Yeah. Poor the Deep here has been getting a hell of a workout, and if we look at their creativity, still at... Oh, skill level +5. Wow. Despite all of it, they've still only got 5 skill. That makes me kind of bitter. I mean, they put in so much work in this life, and they just never get really that good at it. Oh, this is going to be our food storage area, and I'm just vacuuming it out right now. Once it's fully vacuumed, I think we'll put in a bit of chlorine here to make sure any germs die. It's unlikely germs will get in here, but if you're going to put in a vacuum, if you're not going to have a vacuum, you might as well put in chlorine to help. Well, A vacuum will work, I should say, but chlorine just makes sure it's just that double layer of security. Also, I prefer to put in more chlorine than I need, so I'd prefer to get up to about 2 kilos of pressure. That way, if any food does go off in here or get rotten or anything happens, it can't off-gas. You want something that prevents stuff from off-gassing, and there's always the potential of something rotting in there. You're never sure. Something might go in just as it's hitting a cusp, or better safe than sorry. While all of this is going on, I'm going to take care of one thing in the background that's been bugging me for a long time, and that is the waste sewage pipe. That waste sewage pipe is currently being dumped up here into, can only be described as the most ghetto of ghetto thimbleweed farms that I could only put together just so I could get myself my early exosuits when we were going for the achievement run. But now we have a temperature controlled area, so all I've done is I'm going to pull off the line here and dump it into 6 thimbleweed hydroponics that I've just squished in here. I wanted to hold off putting these in here until all the planting had been done, just so that, the pips didn't have any freakouts about what was going on. Now that that's done, I can dismantle that ghetto thimbleweed farm at the top. I don't need it anymore. This gets rid of all of my polluted water that I don't want, or my germy polluted water excess. I could also recycle the excess germy polluted water, but I don't want to. I've already got so many germs. Where is it? Yeah, we've got a nice big tank full of germs down here, so I don't think we really need them anymore. That is just so bad. Let's get back to finishing off this base. It needs to look a little bit more functional, or it needs to be a bit more functional before we put it in our dupes in here. Since it's starting to get into the later parts of the game and we're going to get everyone up to high decor, I've put together a bunch of snazzy suits. Lots and lots of snazzy suits. I've put together about 40 because I do intend to go up on the dupe count. So the plan is to get everyone into a snazzy suit, the entire lot of them. This is going to take a while since there's about 20 of them, but eventually we'll get them all into snazzy suits, and once we've hired some more dupes, we'll also put them into snazzy suits. Everyone is now in snazzy suits. That should help with the decor. Having a mobile statue effectively that you carry around with you for decor purposes, very handy. Right, what should we get around to next? I don't want to fill the toilet loop just yet. That should be the last thing I do, because the longer that water sits in the pipes, the more likely it is to crack. Actually, wait a minute. I do have some hot water I could fill it up with up here. I could disable this pitcher pump and make sure it all comes out of here. This is all 50-degree water. That would ensure that we get a good start on this. You know what? I think that will be the plan. We'll put you about there. Yeah, it's perfect. And then we can use that water to prime the system. That way, it should actually warm up the place just a bit. Worth a try. We'll see what happens. After that, though, oh yeah, food. Power's hooked up to the food. We've also hooked up the natural gas. That's all ready to go. Oh, yes, we need to put in actual bleach stone in here. One moment. Conveyor loader set up. We set it to pick up bleach stone, and we allow manual use. Now someone will come along and throw in 1,000 kilos. It's a little bit much, but I'm not going to faff about with this. I just want to get this started. Once that's done, we can disable manual use and no one else will put any more into it. There we go. Done. Boom, boom, boom. Bleach stone gets in here and this starts to off-gas. I prefer to get... Oh, yeah, that... Oops. Oh, wait, no. Disable building, just in case anything goes wrong with that. Perfect. Okay. Let's ignore that minor mistake. That should give us plenty of gas pressure in there. With the chlorine in there, germs no longer an issue. You can go and we'll get rid of the shipping rails as well. A little bit of a tidy up. Otherwise, that stuff will be there in 100 cycles and I'll have no idea why. Oh, is that gas pump disabled? Yeah, building disabled. Perfect. I like to leave that in there just in case anything goes horribly wrong. There's nothing worse than having a bunch of, say, polluted oxygen end up in there and you're frantically trying to figure out what to do with it. And it'd just be nice if you could turn on a gas pump and turn the whole place into a vacuum again. Well, next up. I think it was time we started sealing in this base. Oh, no. I want to have a carbon sink at the bottom. There will be carbon dioxide given off by the duplicants while they're in here. So let's put in a carbon skimmer system down the bottom. You know what? I might seal off the base like this, just in a sort of an L shape. I want to keep this outside the base for now. We're going to, of course, expand this later as more and more dupes come online. But I think, yeah, we'll do a little L-shaped symbol here. You know what? We might just stop the base at this level. Might be an idea, yeah. Stop it down here, put in a carbon skimmer right there. That should sort things out. This is fairly straightforward. I've made these many times before. Carbon skimmer to suck in the carbon, then a water sieve to take the polluted water that it outputs and turn it into clean water. The clean water gets shoved right back into the carbon skimmer, and round it goes. It works for infinity. Even generates a little bit of warmth, which is nice. At the same time, auto sweeper above it, we will set that bin to... Where is it? I've already got one set up already. filtration medium, so regolith and sand will get dumped in there. And then this will be set up to hold the polluted dirt when it comes out. And this auto sweeper will fill the water sieve automatically and dump the polluted dirt in there. At the same time, the deodorizer will get stocked up with sand and regolith from here, making sure that any polluted oxygen that off gases immediately gets turned back into oxygen. Effectively, we're getting rid of the carbon dioxide, and the polluted dirt it generates to be turned into a little bit of oxygen. It's the perfect symbiotic system. Oh, we might want to hook it up to power. What have we got on this wire so far? This wire, 890 watts. Well, that's nothing. You know what? Let's just run the wire down from up here. That should be fine. Done. And we're just about ready to seal in the base then. Oh no, we got to transfer all the food across. I need to get all of my barbecue and all of my... Actually, how much barbecue we got left? Yeah. All of my barbecue and pepper bread over to here. I need to get all my raw ingredients over to here. I think we might be doing runs with the... let me think about how I'm going to manage this for a second. So I may have gotten a little bit sidetracked. I was going to transfer the food in here now, and I queued up a rail. I was going to start diverting all the food. But then I realized that down here, this carbon dioxide pump was starting... Well, this pump that was sucking out all the carbon dioxide was, running out of gases to extract. It's pretty low pressure. So instead, I sort of cracked open the surrounding area here just to let all the rest of those gases flow down there so that it has something to extract. Was it entirely necessary? No, but I did get to demolish a chunk of the map, and we all know how much I love doing that, so that's what I ended up doing. This over here, you know what, that'll eventually flow down. I'm not going to worry too much about that. I think I'm going to flood the entire map with hydrogen. Once I've got this base done and sealed in, I think, yeah, the rest of the map is going to become all hydrogen, and I'm going to set up a very special carbon skimmer at the bottom of the map. It's going to skim all the carbon dioxide and the natural gas and even the oxygen. It's going to skim everything out of the map until the only thing left is hydrogen. It's a special type of skimmer. Well, we'll see if it works. I'll have to get rid of the last of the oil. I'm pumping all the oil out of this side, this section over here, and I'm dumping it over the other side. Though I think, yeah, that's going to get a bit full in a while. It'll be fine. This oil well has actually turned off. Though, if you'll check it out, the temperature from all the oil wells down here has drastically improved the heating down here. There is just so much heat being generated by all of that crude oil coming out. Most of the stuff down here is like 50 degrees, 60 to 70 over the side, but that's because of, where is it? That's because of our oil well up the top of the map that's dropping down even more oil. So this one over here, yeah, that's also quite toasty though, because of the way we've insulated it in. It's kept mostly to itself and the bottom of the map. Okay. Time to stop getting distracted. I don't want to move across the food just yet. I think I'm going to leave the food and the water till last. I need to get everything else set up and running. All of them are going to bring their exosuits with them. When they leave to go to the new base, they're just going to walk out here, walk in, drop off their exosuits in the dock, and then they're going to be inside this base. So I think the next thing I need to do is get rid of this hydrogen cloud that's up here. So I ended up ripping up a bunch of diamond tiles, but that should allow all the hydrogen at least to escape out of here. I want to have this just as oxygen when the time comes. Though, is there polluted oxygen down here? There's probably... Okay, I'll put in some deodorizers as well. Perfect, all sorted. Still, what's left? Food, fill up to 2 loops, and seal in the base. That's just about it. I'm sealing it in with some insulated tiles on the side. I think I may have to insulate it all the way around, just to make sure none of the coal that we're going to be generating outside will leak in. But yeah, we're getting close to getting this up and running. I keep thinking I'm forgetting something, and I'm pretty sure I have, but I think we just have to get started on this and do the transition over. I've never tried moving my base from one location to another. So let's see what I'm going to forget. The first off, though, I am going to move all the barbecue over here. I'm not going to get the pepper bread over just yet. I'm just going to use the barbecue. But at the same time, I'm going to go into consumables and ban my dupes from consuming it. I'll put them onto the pepper bread. So now that they're over to the pepper bread, they should move all the barbecue over there, and it shouldn't interfere at all with what is going on over in this part of the base. So once they've moved all the barbecue over, once they move all the barbecue in here, let's see, that should be working fine. Yeah, there's plenty of chlorine in there. Yeah, all the barbecue moved over, I think. How many calories is it supposed to be? 2.2 million calories. Okay, all the barbecue is moved. And we'll get rid of allow manual use for now, and we'll later on put some, actually we'll put the pepper bread in now just to be safe, because I know I'm going to forget these if I'm not careful. So that's that done. Time to fill up the bathroom loop. Actually, also the carbon dioxide loop. I'm kind of thinking here, maybe I should move that over here. The reason being, I I put in a service corridor down the side here just so that gases could flow out this way as well. I remember that if you don't have gas flow available both sides, you get problems. So maybe if I put it down there, that seems to be where the carbon dioxide is more likely to accumulate. Oh, and I've managed to get rid of most of the hydrogen. Little bits of hydrogen were in here and I didn't want it, so I put in all these gas flow tiles just so I could allow the hydrogen out and the carbon dioxide down. Yeah, there's one piece over here. I'm going to have to get that out as well. Maybe I'll fix that later. First off, fill up these liquid loops. Yeah, both of them have got to go. In fact, I may move this over here just a wee bit. There we go. Quick movement all the way over there. And now we're just going to set up a little water pit here. Dump in some clean water and prime the system. Oh, that reminds me, I forgot to prime the bottom system, didn't I? Yeah, I need to get a pipe down here to prime the bottom one as well. Nothing too complicated, I think. Yeah, we'll just do that. That should be plenty complicated for what we're trying to do. We can always back out the pipe or do what needs doing later on. Oh, and water. Plenty of water. Though, first thing I want to do is I want to make sure any and all water, these things here, I want to make sure they're disabled. I only want them pulling from the hottest water I possibly have. What about you? Are you disabled? You are not disabled. That leaves just this one, which is in 50-degree water. Perfect. What's this down here? Brine and brine. Can we mop that? Nope. Okay, that's... Oh, we can mop one of them. Yeah, fine by me. Yeah, that leaves us with just that water there. So let's go down and see how we're... Yeah, let's go down and set this up to collect us some water. Don't forget to enable auto bottle, of course, and check on the errands. Ant-Man is currently on that. Power-wise, have I forgotten power? Yes, I have forgotten power. Of course I have. All right, power goes in there. And that should help us prime both the systems. Once they're both primed, we can disconnect this and mop up any leftover water. I think 400 kilos should probably be enough for both of these. Or maybe not. Okay, that is plenty for the downstairs loop. I think we can deconstruct that now. Upstairs loop for the toilets. Yeah, I think we're going to need a wee bit more. Maybe one more? Yeah, I think one more bottle should do it. Or maybe not. Jesus, I forgot how much these take. Okay, we'll make that the last bottle for now. If we need any more, we can always turn that back on. Yeah, that's plenty. Perfect. System is ready to go. That means there's only one thing left to do. Yeah, we got to move the dupes in here. Oh, wait, no. One last thing. I want to get this set up before we move everyone in. This is the accident pit. Big thanks to Brian in the comments for pointing that out to me. They reminded me that, yes, dupes will have accidents, so I'm going to have to put in an accident hole down here. This means any dupes that come back, when they take off their suit at this point, any mess that's in it, if they've had an accident, will drop straight down here. Liquid pump will snag it up, and that liquid pump dumps onto our sewage line that goes up and is fed into our reed fiber. See the way it's pulling off this sewer line, it's just one big sewer line for all the excess waste. Now that that's done, oh, yes, I've already disabled access in and out here, and these two levels. So I'm only going to activate these two levels first. There's 10 exosuit docks. Both of them are plugged into the main oxygen lines now. I've moved them around just to make sure that they're plugged into the primary oxygen. Wait a minute, did I plug it into the wrong one? Yep, I did. That one there should be plugged into one back further. Yeah, that one should be plugged in there, shouldn't it? My bad. There we go. Much better. So that's plugged into the left one and the right one, which are currently being used up here left and right for feeding those atmosphere ducts. Central one is currently just for everything else. That's that done. Time to... Yeah, I think it's time to put in the actual... where are they? Yep, under utilities. No, it's stations. We want to put in the atmosuit checkpoints. So, rotate them that way. Now, I don't want my dupes entering this place anymore, because otherwise it's going to cause confusion if these are there. Also, I've went through and hit every single one of these. I had to these, no suit or leave empty, just that there's something for them to get into. Oh, see, right there, they hopped in, and now they can't. Well, they will be able to hop back out again. Let's say move here, and they should put back on their suit. You, same thing. Oh, great, they're going to come back in and out again. Okay, fine. This means, though, I should be able to run them into the base. I'm only going to leave 2 docks open, so yeah, let's get this started. All good for these 2 sections. These bottom sections I'm going to leave so they can't get in and out. And these sections over here, clearance always permitted, clearance vacancy only. This just means that when they come back, if there's no space to drop off the suit in that dock row, they won't enter. This is very useful because if I have multiple docks, so what happens is if they come back and this whole row is full and I have it set to clearance always, what'll happen is if it's on clearance always, they'll just go, oh fine, there may be 10 suits here. I don't care, I'll just drop my suit on the floor like a slob and keep walking in. However, since there's 2 docks, if this one is full, they'll go, well, I can't go in there, I'll go to the one below it and I'll enter into that one because that one will have space, assuming I've done it correctly. Oh, and another thing I might want to do, I might want to deliver 2 suits. I have 2 astronauts in space at the moment. So, wait, no, let me think about this. Nope, I shouldn't have done that actually. The 2 astronauts in space have their own suits as well. So I'll just have to make sure that I open up this dock before I let the astronauts out. That's perfectly fine. And now that that's all done, it's time to change everyone's bedrooms over. So who's not sleeping? You know what? Let's just go through and unassign everyone from their cots and then delete the cots. Yeah, that sounds like a reasonable idea. There we go. All the cots will get deleted. Alright, hopefully they'll go over to their new bedrooms over here. Though, are they? You know what? I'll find out. Now it's time to delete these cots as well. Ooh. Kind of curious if this works. I really hope it does. Okay, they're all eating up there still. Oh, yeah, that reminds me I should delete these as well. These can all go. Unless you're currently sitting down, you are no longer allowed in here. Oh. I know I've made a mistake somewhere. I know something. Oh, there's a few dupes that have already moved over. They seem to have their suits. Okay, okay. A few more. Okay, they're starting to eat in here as well. That's a good sign. Oh, they do have to come over here to grab their food. So, yeah. Time to get all of the food preparation going on over here. Simplest thing to do, let's just copy the recipes. We'll copy you to here, and we will copy you over there as well. Perfect. Now all I've got to do is get the pepper bread over here. Well, let's switch them all back to barbecue because the barbecue is already moved. Oh, actually, wait, no. I want to move the last of the barbecue once I delete this. I don't want them making any more barbecue over here just for the moment. Once that's deleted, move over the last of the barbecue, and done. All the barbecue moved over. Right, then pepper bread as well. Should I move the pepper bread now? You know what? Yeah, let's move them a lot of it. Allow manual use. Get me all the pepper bread over here too. Wait, remove the barbecue. Yeah, remove the barbecue. Let them bring over the pepper bread. There's going to be quite a lot of that. There's 7 million calories or something stupid. 5 million calories. Then I got to move over all the pepper nuts and a few other things, but I think... See, I can't let them get in there. That's why I've double doored this. If I let them in there, they'll be able to get access to all the food. So I need them to move over all the food. Then once it's moved over, then I can allow them access to the area. But until then, no food for anyone, I'm afraid. So a few people are going to be not getting food. Just until the pepper bread is done. Oh yeah, that's the last of the pepper bread. Glorious. Finished. Yes. Then we just enable... You know what? We'll open that door. This one already has access. Yes, it does. Oh, and allow manual use. No, thank you, not anymore. Barbecue and pepper bread will get lifted in there as necessary when they're cooked. Done. Okay, so now all of our dupes can get their food in here. Perfect. I think we've sort of successfully migrated, though. There's 3 suits left here, and there's... Why is there more suits left here than there should be? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 suits here. There should only be 3 left when they all move out. Oh. 2 of the space astronauts, maybe? Nope. Not going to worry about it. Not going to worry about it. I'm sure it'll become apparent to me when someone has a mess or starts starving. Okay, next up. I need to move over the pepper nuts. Okay, pepper nuts. Then that means... Let's change this around. That connected to there. Disconnect all of that. Yeah, perfect. That should make sure that any of the fresh pepper nuts come straight down here and get dumped into the storage area. What about these fellas over here? Ooh, yeah, I need to get these pepper nuts out of here. There's this is my peppermint storage area for now. So let's put in a quick bit of shipping across here. Of course, I'm doing all the rails out of iron because it's the most plentiful material I have. Done. We'll set this up so that all of the peppernuts get picked up here, dumped across, and get sent over to the area. And that will all be done via automation. Oh, this can also get deconstructed. We don't want that anymore. You know what? We'll cancel that recipe as well. I don't want any more pepper bread getting made over here. And we've got a blueprint to choose from. Yeah, we'll grab another snazzy suit. Soon I'll be able to hire more dupes. It's been way, way, way too long. Okay, that's all done. Give me peppernuts. Give me peppernuts. Where are you? Done. Pinch your peppernuts. Pinch your peppernuts will get picked up. There's quite a few of them. They'll all get shipped. Wow. How many of them was on the rail there? 20, 12, 6. Okay, not as many as I thought. I really thought there would be a lot more than that. Oh, come on. You can't reach that one. Ah. You know what? How many peppernuts is that? That is just 2 kilos. I will let that rot. I don't even care. The rest of them will all end up over here. And that gets all our peppernuts moving, and we at least have cooking ingredients. They're all chucked up here so that this auto sweeper can stock them up. But no one else is able to get up there. The door's locked, and they can't grab it from down here, and they can't stand on this ledge because the door is locked. That means those peppernuts can only be accessed by this sweeper, and that sweeper can stock them to this area. Any of the pepper bread that gets made gets dumped straight into this conveyor loader and sent across there. Any barbecue that gets created here gets straight onto this and sent across there. Now all I gotta do is find a way to dump barbecue onto this, or dump meat. I think meat is going to have to be a manual loading job. Let me think about this. After a good think, because I hadn't planned this ahead quite as well as I should have, this is where I have to dump all of the ingredients. So meat and sleet wheat both have to be dumped in here for any additional barbecue I'm making and any additional pepper bread. Oh, also the peppernuts. So this is the loading rail. So I figure I'm just going to stick a conveyor loader right here. And I'm going to set the conveyor loader to pick up meat, which means any meat from these Drecos that keep occasionally popping off will get dumped in there. Next up here, I'm going to put in this there, and I'm going to make sure that all the sleet wheat grains get dumped off in there. These are, of course, going to be manual use conveyor loaders. So sleet wheat grain, allow manual use. Boom, all sleet wheat grain will get dumped in there from now on. And since that sleet wheat grain ends up in here, none of my dupes can access it, and it just stays in there until that conveyor loader loads it into the gas range. Down here, same thing, except we select meat, allow manual use, done. Any meat should end up in there. Last step to do is, there's a bunch of sleet wheat grain in here. Let's kick that all out for now. Deconstruct. And if I'm right, someone just picked up 31 sleet wheat grain and they're going to drop it off up there. It gets dropped down across the rail and it's going to end up in cooking central. I think we're good. I think we've moved everyone and it's been relatively painless. Though I'm still not sure why everyone is ending up here. Why are they going back up there to chat? That doesn't seem like a good hangout spot, guys. Yeah, let's just make sure everyone is assigned out to a bed. 8, 8, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, so we've got 18 beds assigned. Everyone should be eating in here. And why? Oh, this is something that you're going to have to deal with. Occasionally they drop pieces of food on the ground for no apparent reason and no one can figure out why. Also, they have a tendency to... Yeah, like, see, there's another piece just appeared for no reason. Sometimes their eyes are bigger than their stomach, maybe, when they're taking bread from here. And there's no real easy way to get it back in. My point being, if you make, say, like one of these, a conveyor loader that says, hey, put in any excess pepper bread, well, that pepper bread is going to... Ooh, wait a minute, what if I just put in auto sweepers all the way along the top? It'd mess with the decor, but I could put in auto sweepers to stop them from dropping it. One moment. There we go. These shipping loaders should automatically pick up any dropped pepper bread that they keep dropping for some bizarre reason that I haven't been able to figure out. Dump it back into these conveyor loaders, and those conveyor loaders will sweep it right back down in here, right back on top of all the pepper bread again. So even if they keep dropping it, it'll end back up there. Any stuff that ends up outside of the dining area, well, there's nothing really much I can do about that. So once all that's done, we're going to set that to auto sweep and see what happens. In the meantime, we should probably see about squeezing in just as much decor as we can, so let's get back to putting some crown molding, shall we? Wow, this place is a little bit shiny right now. Lord. All done. We'll sweep up any pepper bread or barbecue that ends up lying about the place. Wait, where's barbecue? There we go. Any of those that end up lying about the place can all get swept back up, and hopefully that should be that. Boom, all back down to the start. That's just one of those weird things that I'm not sure about in this game as to why they keep dropping the food. I just know that it happens. I never had the same problem when I used to use fridges because they'd drop it back to the fridge when they were done. Okay, I think it's time I started taking apart these docks. Hopefully they won't take off their suits when they go to deconstruct them. Boom. With that deconstructed, I think I can deconstruct all of these. Might as well get it done. Okay, now there's no one in there. Let's deconstruct that as well. Boom. Oh, did I put that to all? Oh, let's cancel that. I was about to sever power lines and all sorts of things. Did I sever anything over here? Just severed the gas piping and the power, but nothing too valuable or important. But over here, it would have been more problematic as it would have severed the shipping line. Let's just keep that to buildings for now. Yeah, I think... Yeah, now that they're gone, we can get rid of some of these doors as well. Oof. Feels good to actually deconstruct all of this and have all this mess gone. It just, don't get me wrong, it served its purpose, but its purpose was to get us through the early game sections. And now we can... Oh, have I not enabled those toilets yet? No, the toilets are accessible, so why are they not going in? Oh, no, going in those doors. Those are forbidden. This area here, yeah, you're fine. This area here, yeah, you're fine. Okay, so they should be able to use those toilets. Unless I'm missing something. No, I think they're fine. From what I can see, there's excess water in here, so they have been using these toilets. These toilets are working. That means, yeah, it's time to decommission these ones over here. Bye-bye, I suppose. You know what? Let's just decommission the toilets first. We'll leave the sinks in for now until we get some more deconstruction done in here. I want to take all the polluted dirt that's in here and move it to the other locations. Preferably where they can wash their hands after they've moved it all. That should all get dumped over here into this toiletry section. Once all that polluted dirt is... Oh, some of it's going to end up down there as well, isn't it? That means there's going to be some germy dupes running around the place. They'll be fine. They'll wash their hands when they go to the bathroom before they go and get food. Okay, but once this is all filled up and all that polluted dirt is moved, we're going to seal up that bathroom and be done with it. Yeah, I think we're good. Alright, fine. Since that's all sealed up, no one's allowed in here anymore. This place is effectively a sealed room. Perfection. Oh, and let's check the vacuum overlay on these. It pointed out to me that, oh, see the way this here is a vacuum? Which seems very odd, but it's effectively to do with the deodorizer. The deodorizer is projecting on top of it to convert the polluted oxygen into oxygen. And this somehow generates a vacuum, or that's what I've been informed. That's why they constantly keep a vacuum going on pretty much anywhere. That's why when there's only one nearby two of them, it keeps bouncing back and forth between the two because you can only do one at a time. But when you have one of them there, it just sits there sucking away the polluted dirt all the time, or turning the polluted dirt into oxygen. Which is why you can end up with a scenario where even though you have submerged or you've surrounded the polluted oxygen in a higher pressure gas, it still keeps off-gassing no matter what you do. It's just one of those things. What's wrong with you? Why are you unhappy? Food poisoning. Well, okay, yeah, it's a new place. It'll be fine. Once everything's moved over, all of the food is completely decontaminated. Yeah, I think it's time to rip out all this stuff and be done with it. With all of this gone, the strange thing is that my main base will not have the printing pod in it. I've never had that before. I've always had the printing pod in my base, and no, the spicy tofu is just going to mess things up. As for consumables, yeah, let's let them finish off that barbecue. I want that barbecue gone. It's been hanging around for too long. We still got 2 million calories of this stuff. Yeah, I think we're good. I think the move has been a success. Everything's moved over, though we did leave a few suits behind, and I think we may be a few suits short here. So let me have a quick check at the numbers. No, from what I can see, the amount of suits we have to the amount of dupes we have is fine. So, grand then. Maybe it was the 2 suits they added in earlier that evened things out. I'm not so sure. But for the time being, we seem to have enough suits. I'm not going to care too much. Now all we have to do is delete some of all this vestigial infrastructure because it's no longer necessary. So while this is going ahead, I have to go back and correct some of my mistakes. Turns out you can't have an industrial machinery inside your Great Hall. So this is no longer a Great Hall because I put in all these autosweepers. So all of this good stuff that I put in has to go, and we'll have to go back to just dealing with pepper bread ending up on the ground and eventually just rotting and going off. An annoyance, but one I'll just have to learn how to live with. Boom, back to being a Great Hall again. +6 morale, thank you very much. Well worth it. I'll just have to do a little bit of rejigging here and get everything back to the way it was before. And we should be good to go. Was it? That's granite? Yeah, definitely granite. And bing, everything back to the way it was. Pity. Now I'm going to have to deal with that pepper bread on the ground. Maybe someone's found a way to fix that. I don't know. If you've got any ideas, just let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to see if you found a way around that, because it really bugs me having that pepper bread just laying on the ground going off every so often for no reason. No reason that I can figure anyway. That's enough of all the destruction for today and all of the cleaning up. I think, yeah, the old base is pretty much gone. You can't even tell where it was anymore. This is the new base. As well as that, I've started installing a duplicate gym here, so we can start hiring on new duplicants at last. I'll have to set up another Rodriguez, though. We've only got enough oxygen to do 30 dupes. Maybe a little bit less. I think I got a couple of mouth breathers already. But we should be fine. I can enable a third exosuit dock now. And once that's up and running... Actually, have I already enabled a third exosuit dock? I think we can fix that quite quickly. Yeah, we'll just... disconnect that, and that means the third exosuit dock has its own dedicated line of oxygen, at which point we can just fill this up with suits and then enable that door. So far I've been locking the doors on some of these just to prevent the dupes getting in and out. You know what, we'll lock that door instead, allow the dupes in here, and we'll let them circulate across. But look, all of that's for tomorrow. Next up, we're going to be expanding our population. We just do not have enough. I want more to do some large-scale projects. The next large-scale project is we're going to do a deep dish rocket setup. Really, really deep dish. I'm thinking, I think we might be able to try and take the steam from the rocket and recycle it, and use the steam from the hydrogen rocket to make more hydrogen to launch more steam rockets and maybe make a sustainable one. I don't know. I haven't done all the numbers on it yet, but that is sort of the big project I want to do next, a big deep dish rocket setup. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the last of the base movement, and good luck.